Ryan and I met December 12th, 1996 at the University of Washington in my last class of my senior year, the only information systems class that I took.
It was called European Media Systems. I actually selected it because it was very interesting to me. And according to her, I found out later that she picked it because it just worked for the time frame.
You're never gonna slow me down enough to catch me to have kids. That was always the joke. I wasn't feeling well, so I went to the doctor. They had hooked me up to an IV to terminate what they believed was a tubal pregnancy. And I said, I need to call my husband. Thank God he had sense about him to ask for a second opinion. And baby Anderson was born 9 months later.
I'm Anderson Coy. I'm the only son of Ryan and JuliAn Coy, and I'm currently a freshman at Arizona State University studying data analytics.
Maybe I'm diagnosed ADD. Nobody's ever diagnosed me, but I like to have my attention on lots of different things. So it just seemed natural and easy for me just to incorporate motherhood into the whole thing. And I've always been a workaholic since the day he met me.
And there's never any dull moments. We've always got something going on.
My mom and dad were always busy. They're very hard workers. Work came first a lot of the time for them, and they taught me how to get my stuff done, how to do things so I could handle it on my own. And I was always super thankful for that.
Working and traveling was just my obligation Monday through Friday, but Anderson was my obligation in the evenings and on weekends and in the mornings before school when I wasn't traveling. I would always try to spend extra time with him when I could, and him and I have a lot of mom-son bonding time.
We used to have a pond by our house back in Snoqualmie. Midday, she gets off her call and goes, grab a frog net. So we grabbed a frog net and she took me to this pond, and we didn't leave until she caught a frog, who we then named Jeremiah, and we brought back to our house with us and had a frog pet for a few days.
There was one summer where she would go out with girlfriends from the neighborhood and they would go to the park and this and that. I come home and she goes, oh, by the way, Anderson knows how to ride a bike. And I go, what are you talking about? And she goes, yeah, well, I took him to the soccer field and we basically taught him how to ride a bike. And I thought, oh, okay, well, my dad taught me, so it was kind of a little bit of a role reversal there.
My mom was always very outgoing, loved the outdoors, loves all kinds of animals.
From a very young age, anytime Anderson caught a cold, it would immediately turn into pneumonia, and his lungs were always weak. And so he was diagnosed with childhood asthma.
It started in 3rd grade. I got really bad pneumonia, so I missed almost half of the school year because of it.
He grew out of it mostly until he decided he wanted to play football, which his dad and I were not fans of originally.
As he would exert himself on the field, you could really see him struggling during certain exercises to where he would have to run over, and I always had to make sure that I had an inhaler with me.
And there were many trips to Children's Hospital where he would get put on a nebulizer just for what was a common cold, but when you're asthmatic, a common cold turns disastrous pretty quickly and your oxygen levels go down.
When he gets colds or, during cold season, you can tell that there's still some lingering effects too.
COVID entered the United States through my father's former nursing home. Of the 200 residents, only a third survived. My dad is one of the survivors.
He ended up getting COVID 2 or 3 times, but thankfully every time he was able to get over it.
But during the time, it was pretty crazy. We couldn't go visit him. He was in critical care for a while.
That was definitely hard, having to think about him being isolated there, not knowing where his family is.
My service with American Lung Association has given me so much opportunity to really become a lung health ambassador and advocate, something that I never even imagined would be something I'm passionate about. Lung health, it just seems to impact a lot of different people. American Lung Association resonates with me because my mother-in-law had struggled with lung disease, my son being asthmatic, growing up with smoking parents. The whole thing made sense to me.
Charismatic, kind, and outgoing.
My husband always says, just whittle it away one thing at a time. And it's like the simplest little sentence, but when I can picture and hear his voice saying that to me, it's just one thing at a time, and then somehow I'm able to do it. Anderson's a priority though. If Anderson needs me, I'm always there for him. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a merger, if I'm in the middle of a private equity transaction, if I'm giving a keynote speech on stage somewhere. If my son needs me, I'm there for him.
Congratulations, Mom. Thanks for being the best mom in the ward. And I'm so excited for you that you won this award. I am so blessed to be your only child, your only son, and I'm so excited to see all the great many more things that you do.
Congratulations, Julie, for the Outstanding Mother Award. I'm still waiting to find out about Outstanding Father Award. I haven't received that word yet, but I'm hoping maybe this video will help my cause. But in all seriousness, congratulations, you earned it, and love you much.